Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Cho's Garage. I am Mr. Cho here in my garage. Anyway, okay, enough rambling. The last video was really bad on rambling, so it was probably the worst video I've made. I apologize for that, but got to put them down. Anyway, so here, back at it. We're working on this 07 Honda CRV. We're going to be doing a replacement of the lower control arm, both sides. Went in for an alignment, and technician said that the bushings in the control arm were worn, causing the axle to pivot backward, which was causing an alignment. It had to hold the wheel over while you're driving, and let go of the wheel and it drift off to the right. So under acceleration, the control arm's torqued forward, so there's no problem. But when you let off the gas or you're like under a light throttle, it's kind of settling back in the pocket because the bushings are worn. So Mr. Joe has quite a bit of experience with the suspension components, so totally aware of what the technician recommended. So we're going to go ahead and just get down on this thing. So anyway, here these ones are really simple. We'll use this guy as a diagram here. So you got your ball joint, and you got your front bushing, and then you have your rear bushing that's already pressed onto the bracket. So you've got your sway bar that bolts to the top. You've got your two bolts that come up from the bottom that go through the frame, and it pinches it, and the bolts go, and it keeps it from coming out. And then you've got your one that's going to go through the pocket in the frame rail, and then you got a single bolt that's going through it. So here we go. So there is your front sway bar. You got two 12mm head bolts that are in there, and then underneath here we got there they are, a couple of 14mm head bolts right here. There's one and two, and then you got your ball joint with the cotter pin, and then there is your front control arm. God dang, light right there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts and one ball joint. Pretty self-explanatory. I've got the vehicle supported off the frame. I got some blocks for extra support in the front end there. We talked about this before. Stability is a key thing when you're working with suspension components like this, or anytime when you're working underneath the vehicle. You want to make sure it's properly supported, because you don't want that thing to give way while you're underneath of it. The reason why I say suspension components is a lot of these components are rubber bushings, and sometimes you gotta kind of pull and pry on things. And so when you start doing that, you're gonna get those the vehicle's weight jimmy jacked on the jack stands or blocks of wood, whatever you got. So first things first, when you get it up in the air, make sure you got that thing settled down where it's on something square and it's rigid, so it ain't gonna fall on you when you start doing work. So anyway, so I'm gonna put this down here for a second. I'm gonna gather my tools, and we're just gonna get down, because that's how we do it. We get down, Mr. Cho's Garage. But anyway, enough rambling, and let's get her done. All right, we're back at it. So it's talking about the simplicity on this one. This is about, God dang, light, for killing me. Jeez. Mr. Cho gets pissed sometimes about that stuff. Anyway, let's get back at it. So the simplicity on this one, I literally, something's going on. Okay, I thought maybe one of my jack stands was giving out. Anyway, here's the bushing. You can see it's definitely fatigued, and it's got some cracking in it. If I put some stress on it. Anyway, yeah, it's in there. There, you can see it's starting to tear. Oh, dang. Anyway, so there's 5 bolts and the ball joint. And so anyway, here we go. These are my tools. Disregard that. This is what I used just now. Literally like 5 minutes and it's out. So I know you're like, Mr. Show, you're so full of crap. You had it loose and then just started the video out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the other side, which I haven't touched. I've only taken the tire off. And we're going to do it real quick so I can show you that you don't need air tools or any fancy stuffs. You can just get her done with your, like, you could go and get like a dollar store ratchet set and get her done. The only thing is you're gonna have to get a wrench for the ball joint because you can't put your ratchet in there. So it's a 3/4 or 19 millimeter since it's a Honda. You know, it's metric. Anyway, I used a 3/4 and it worked just fine. And then I used a ball peen hammer, and you know, you could use like a 3.5 pound mini sledge, whatever you want to do. And I used a tiny little screwdriver to get the clip out. So anyway, I'm going to show you. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go get my cheapest tools that I got, and I'm going to show you we're going to get her done. So bear with me. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I got my not so quality tools. Ain't no Snap-on, no Matco. You know, this is like the bottom of the barrel, $7.99 socket set. Okay, and a broken screwdriver that's been filed down. Some kind of weird. I'm not even going to use a regular end wrench. I'm going to use a 6-inch crescent wrench. So I'm really going for it, and a ball peen hammer. So a handful of tools. Here you go. There's my stuff. See, you know what I'm talking about. When there ain't no name on it, when it just has like the size, and I can feel the chrome plating cut my finger. Okay, ain't no much more proof than that. You got your plastic TriStar ratchet head. I think it works. Anyway, so here we go. I'm gonna just show you. This is how we get down. So, Mr. Show, engaged. All right, first things first, I'm going to take the most time setting up my camera here. See what we got going on here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Golding. Okay, I think it's staying. Anyway, here we go. There's that guy. My 12 millimeter. Going for the sway bar end link. I have not touched this side. I've taken the tire off and that's it. Hope y'all timing me. Oh, look at that. I'm already wasting time. Oh, get on there. Get on there. We're not going for speed. I'm just showing you that if you're going to be a backyardigan, you know, you don't have to have fancy tools all the time. Granted, yes, you need the right tool for the right job sometimes, but sometimes you got to make do with what you got. Not everybody can afford, you know, an $800 torque wrench and, you know, that beeps at you when it's done, when it's its limit. Some of us are, you know, using the Proto tools or the the Harbor Freights, the Walmart, Dollar General. I don't know what they got out east. I think they got Walmart for sure. But anyway, this is, like I said, this is like a $8-9 socket set. Look, it even comes with a little nut driver for the 1/4-inch drive. So look, it's been glued. It broketed and glued back together. That's how quality it is. Anyway, here we go. Giving it the 2-finger method so I can just pivot. That's to increase your speed because your arm gets tired. So sometimes you want to be quick. Okay, here we go. End link's loose. Transfer my socket. Moving up to the old 14 double M, whatever that means. Hopefully I don't break the gear of my ratchet, so I can continue on my proof. That's one. Give her the spinneroo. Oh, that's two. All right. See where we're at on our video here. Here's my quality parts. Gonna do a oh. Take it easy. Take it easy. Okay. Oh. Anyway, okay. Here we go. That's a 17 mil. Uh-oh. Mr. Cho doesn't have a 17 mil as quality set. So I'm going to have to rob a socket. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to go and you got to buy yourself another quality. So, anyway, here we go. We got our chromium vanadium 17 mm no-namer. That's the impact socket. Anyway, here we go. Going for that front bushing. Don't break my socket or my ratchet. Don't break my knuckles. Here we go. Oh, Mr. Cho. We got the Armstrong power there. Sometimes you know, I tell you not to strong arm stuff, but if you're going to try and take something loose, sometimes you got to strong arm it. And, you know, when you're doing that, you just want to, you know, bust yourself. So imagine if you're going to strong arm something and it gives way and you want to know what you're going to hit yourself on. So you're going to premeditated hurting yourself. So, you know, if it gives way, oh, I need to stop before I hit myself. Anyway. And there's that one. Control arm's loose in the pocket. Here comes our expensive screwdriver. God dang, light. Try and give you guys a visual here. Let's see here, what do we got? Okay. This side. I'm gonna rotate. Turn. I have my steering wheel unlocked so I can do this. Oh, excuse me. God dang. Alright, camera. It's kind of hard to see in there. So I've got my little clip right here. It's kind of going the wrong way. Oh. One little screwdriver. These Honda ones can be trickery. Some of the Toyotas are like that too. It's a European thing. They got this little hook on the end there that keeps from coming out. Get out of there. I gotta switch hands. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but God dang, right? All right. If you got a pick would work, but I'm just showing you. There we go. Boom. Proto. Oh, dang. We're back in it. I got it, though. See? All right. There's that. This is where we're going to get our striking device. I'm not left-handed, but we're going to strike her right there on the knuckle, on the taper. Like that. Anyway, I'm going to put my phone down so I don't drop it again. See if I can get this set up here. Rotate that guy there. Here we go. Like I said, I'm not left-handed. She didn't come loose yet. She's still in there. Oh, dang, phone. I bumped my bucket. I got my phone on a bucket. I'm going to rotate it. That way I can strike it with my right hand. Put some power behind it. There she went. Well, bam. Rotate this guy back out of the way. Alright. So now, I got my bolt out. I got my ball joint out. And right here, it's kind of pinched on the frame. And it's at an angle, so it's putting a little bit of pressure on it. So, what I'm going to do here, grab my Proto. Use it as a prying device. Ugh. Ow. I got a cramp in my foot. Ugh. Yeah. There you go. Mr. Cho. And that is the use of inexpensive stuff. And here I am, 18 minutes of my video, and I've got both sides out. Both done with hand tools. One side done with cheaper tools than the other. Still got her done. And anyway, I'm going to put this guy on pause for a moment. I'm going to catch my breath. And we're going to do a reassembly. Anyway, here we go. And we're back. Here we go. So I got the arm pushed in. And I got my 2 bolts just started finger tight underneath. Oh, god dang, right here. And then my sway bar is not connected yet. It's just sitting there. And I got my bolt in, hand started. Grab my quality wrench here. Ratchet, quality ratchet. Little Easter egg here for you. You see this here CV axle? It's pulled out of the CV joint slightly, and that's because my ball joint's not yet connected. So once I get that in there, it'll go back in place. So that's something you want to keep an eye out for. This shows out of breath. Out of shape. Grab my bucket. All right. So, kind of sort of see now. I still can't see. Anyway, we're going to turn this guy a little bit here. So, that's better. So, I'm going to push down with my arm here. So, my axle is keeping me from pushing my arm back in because it came out of the joint. So, I'm going to give it a little twist, a little finagle in here. There we go. We're back in it. Kaplunk.
Put my ball joint in, lower pocket. And we're in. Put my castle nut on. That's in there. Got my 2 bolts in the back. I got one started up front. Now the 2 bolts in the back, see, even my mediocre drop light, Mr. Cho, can't get more professional than that. So my 2 bolts, this is the rubber bushing right here where it pivots and it dampens the suspension, you know, so it doesn't make clunky noises. Anyway, the 2 bolts go through the bracket and they go and it pinches on the frame on that subframe there. And so those 2 bolts can get tightened down because there's nothing that's gonna get damaged with that. Now this guy up front, so we talked about this before, suspension components, anything that's got a rubber bushing in it, like right there, go dang. See that there bushing? You tighten that guy down right now. God dang. And then once the suspension sets, if you tighten it while it's hanging, god dang. See if we can do like a demo on this here. So if you have the suspension hanging, goodness. And then when you tighten it down, it's gonna level out. And that bushing, you know, it's going to twist it. And that bushing is not designed to twist. It's a kind of momentary, you know, as the suspension goes, it flexes. But if you tighten it down with the suspension at full droop or sag, it's going to twist that bushing as the vehicle's let down, and it's going to be under pressure. So it's already twisted. And then let's say you're driving down the road and over time, it's twisting more and more and more, and you're going to rip that bushing right out of there. And then your new bushing and your control arm's toast, and you got to take and pull your arm back out, and you got to press new bushing in, and then, you know, it's going to get more expensive if you just done it right the first time. So just make sure you pay attention to what you're tightening down. Some stuff can get tightened down right away. Some stuff you have to wait for that suspension to be settled. If that makes sense. Anyway, I can't reiterate it enough. But anyway, we're back at it here. So let's go ahead and keep it on. So we're gonna get it close. That's close. Drop off to the old 14 mm. Ran out of gas. Get on there, monkey. Okay. And sway bar. God dang. All right. Got to do these by braille. You know, when you've been mechanicking for a long time, you pick up that sense. And nothing against blind people at all. You have to adapt, and life's different. I wouldn't know. I'm not blind. I do wear corrective lenses, so my vision is poor, but I'm not blind. But anyway, mechanicking, sometimes you close your eyes because then you can feel and see differently, because you got to do things by braille sometimes, because you can't always see where you're working. You can see what you're going for, but you got to do everything by feel. So that guy is a perfect example, because I can't stick my head in there and look down where my holes are. I got to feel it. And that's where the experience and time comes into place of doing things like this. And, you know, that's how I started Mr. Cho's shop, Mr. Cho's garage. So everyone's got a starting point. You know, a little background, Mr. Cho started out turning wrenches. I started hand wrenches to my pappy. You know, he's always working on vehicles, and so I'd be helping him out with the oil change, and he'd be like, "Here, hold the flashlight. I tell you what." That's another thing. That's like a entry level mechanicing, like schooling. Because, you know how, like, you go to school and they teach you stuff? And that's how you learn? You ain't going to be no mechanic in life. You ain't going to be a good one. I can tell you that right now. Or mediocre. If you haven't acquired the certification of holding a flashlight. I can tell you that right now. Because when you learn mechanicking, you're learning with somebody. That's how it starts. Like I said, Mr. Cho started out, you know, holding a flashlight, hand wrenches. And anyone that's been mechanicking for a while knows exactly what I'm talking about. When you got your flashlight certification, you're gonna go somewhere. You're gonna be somebody. It all starts with the flashlight. Anyway, Mr. Cho started out wrenches and flashlighting. I did my first oil change by myself. I was like 13 on a what was it? Plymouth Valiant, out in the gravel, no stands, just on the ground, crawled underneath it. I made a mess, but I got her done. Anyway, so you know, you gotta start out with the basics. Move your way up. Start getting stuff like this. Then you upgrade. As you get better, you're going to understand you're going to need better tools. You're going to need the right tool. This is just a demonstration of how you can get stuff done with mediocre. Anyway, I got my arm in, my ball joint, sway bar. I'm going to tighten up my ball joint, and then I'm going to position my jack underneath the A-arm and take the suspension load all the way up to where the vehicle weight is then being held by the lower control arm, just like if the tire was on the ground. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten my front bushing bolt, my front control arm mount bolt, whatever you want to call it. It's not a nut, it's a bolt. I got my lingo right this time. Anyway, so I'm going to put this down for a second. That way I can get some work done. And then, anyway, I'll be right back at it. Stand by. All right, back in it. Got my jack stand underneath my control arm. Suspension lifted up. You see my jack stand is no longer holding the vehicle's weight. It's all right here. Keep your jack stand underneath there. Safety measures. And that's the guy we're going for right there. Go dang light. This guy. This is that rubber bushing I was talking about. I can't do this. Oh, man. You guys are getting poor video. Anyway. It's tight. Tight. Anyway. It's Mr. Cho. Little control arm on this Honda CRV. Basic upon basic hand tools. Got her done. That's how we get down. Thanks for watching. I'll keep feeding videos when I can. Mr. Cho's a busy guy. Trying to get back in it. Anyway. Whew, I need to get into shape. Is what I need to get into. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And I would recommend better tools. Make sure they're getting tight. I'm going to go back over with everything with, you know, a better selection here to verify that all my components are safe. But I'm just saying that, you know, in a pinch, it can be done. So thanks again for watching. And I'm Mr. Cho, and this is Mr. Cho's Garage. It's how we get down.